My name is Jim Hurley. I am an advisor to a company called Novus Energy Services. It's a Russian-based technology oilfield services company. I'm also general counsel to a relatively new U.S.-based company that we have set up to assist Novus Russia in introducing its technology into the United States oilfield markets. Novus was formed in 2007. It's a startup company. Its scientific team essentially consists of about 5 doctoral degreed scientists. The technology that they have developed is called plasma pulse technology. It's based on nonlinear physics. It's a principle where using an ordinary power source with specially designed proprietary equipment and a technology in the method and design the modulation of the power wave, the plasma wave. Through downhole equipment, they can stimulate and treat an oil well and a gas well to not only clean out the wellbore, but also to enhance production. As you can see from the first slide, it points out that so far their operations have been mostly on oil wells in Russia and China, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and I believe they've done some limited operations in the Czech Republic. Novus Energy was admitted as a resident member of Skolkovo in Moscow in November of 2011. And as I just mentioned, we are setting up a U.S.-based organization to introduce its technology in the United States. Really, a slide going from the top counterclockwise explains the basics of the technology. It's environmentally free. It is one of the few technologies that, in my experience, I've seen in downhole treatment of oil wells. It does not involve any chemicals at all. There are no emissions or emissions. It is potentially very disruptive in the well patch for that reason. Just an overview slide based on the physics principles that underlie the technology. Nonlinear physics violates the principle of superimposition. 2 equal forces the same time apart with nonlinear physics do not equal a momentum that is equal to the similar. In fact, the plasma pulse technology that's been developed by Novus exponentially projects into the reservoir many, many times greater than the power source itself, and hence the effect it can have in managing the reservoir. Basically what the technology does, this slide just explains that the concept is based on elastic vibrations, resonances, that once they're projected in the reservoir under physics principles, they become exponentially greater and can affect an area of a producing reservoir much greater, much farther away than the wellbore itself. This slide simply depicts a vertical completed well operation using the Novus technology. As you can see, it's a rod that is connected to a streamer, a proprietary streamer, using wireline equipment. It's dropped down in the wellbore, lined up with the perfs, and the operator will control it from the surface via remote control. They can customize the modulation of the plasma wave and multiple waves, both as to the size but also the intervals. And the modulation typically is custom directed to the kinds of sediment that you're dealing with. So the more information we have on a well, the greater the predictability factor on whether we can actually do something for the well in terms of enhancing the production. This is something that we're currently developing. This is a horizontally completed well. Most of you have read about horizontal completions combined with the extensive fracking that goes on. Fracking, as you may know, typically involves the injection of very large amounts of chemicals into the wellbore, into the formation. They're recovered for the most part, but this technology will not supplant or replace fracking, but it can act as a very good supplement to fracking. This just depicts the kind of operation that we would conduct. That is a magic streamer. That's the ray gun, as I call it. It is attached to the rod that goes to the wellbore itself. You can see the controller that is used to operate it from the surface. It just depicts how it actually works. With the plasma is the modulation of the wave is shot from the wellbore itself. I'm going to wrap up with 2 slides that I want to show you. So far, as I indicated, we have conducted the Novus PPT, Plasma Pulse Technology operations on about 150 wells, mostly in Russia, China, and Kazakhstan. What we discovered is, just based on the composite averages, 87% of the time we will achieve a success for the well operator. We will achieve blowing out the wellbore, enhancing production. The third text there shows that the number 58 is on average the increase in production from wells that average more than 37 barrels a day. So if, of the 150 wells, those that were producing before the treatment, 37 barrels a day or more, we can average an increase, incremental increase, 58 barrels a day. And you can do the math on that for the economics, and then of course 23 is for the very, very, very small wells. The time I have left, I know I have very little, if any time. I just want to show you one well. I've got 6 others, but in the interest of time, I'll just show you one. This is a well that was treated and stimulated using the Novus technology in Russia, in Mersha field. You can see it's a limestone reservoir. It's a tight sand. It means its porosity and permeability was pretty tight. And you can see that before treatment, the well was producing 12.1 barrels of oil a day, small well. The water cut was producing a lot of water, throwing off a lot of water. It was 95 was the percentage of the water cut before the treatment. After the treatment, we increased the production of the well from 12 barrels to 113 a day. And you can see what we also did to the water cut, which to an oil and gas operator is significant. The key here, and this is the point that I'll leave you with, the key here in our technology is how long we can produce the increased production for a well operator. It really all depends on the period in which the vibrations, the elastic resonance continues. We've done some wells where the production will continue to increase 2 to 3 months after the well treatment, signifying that there's something at a molecular level going on in that well that opens up the porosity permeability and increases production. We've had some wells that have gone 300% of their former pre-treatment production up to a year before the decline curve started gradually dropping back off. So you can see that this is a technology, although it's in its infancy, I think there's a real future for this company.